Hi, hello, hi, and welcome to all our hearts and minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good and the bad, the concerning and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimmy, our passionate heart.
Yeah.
And then there's me, Jeanette, a mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Okay, we're back for a new episode, listeners. Thanks for staying with us. We
Yes,
hope
as
you
always.
enjoyed the last episode with the Olympic drama, the Kamala
Mm-hmm.
drama, and we're here again. And if you're listening and you're enjoying and you're coming back to each of our episodes, remember to rate and subscribe or comment on the podcast wherever you listen, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes,
Okay, we'll
please.
be
Mm-hmm.
jumping into our checkup as we always do. We want to know, how was your week, friend?
My week was pretty good. It was a shorter week. But
Mm-hmm.
listen, I've come to the conclusion with this short week business. It's a scam. It's
It's
a
a
scam,
scam.
everybody,
It's a
because
scam.
it's a scam because listen, by the time you get there on Tuesday, you have to make up extra for Monday. You understand? But this week was okay. It wasn't that bad,
Mm.
but it was, something to get through. So I'm
It was
glad that I
something.
got through it. Yeah, no, for real, because these people. So yeah, but I got through it. And everybody's okay. Can't complain. Family's doing all right. The weather was kind of I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. But how was your week? How was everything?
My week was okay. I think it. Not I think it was okay. It was good. Not too crazy. Nothing too crazy at work. Kind of quiet. I think a lot of people are doing their summer holidays before
Mm-hmm.
the summer ends, so
Yep.
that's I'm enjoying that, because it doesn't happen very often where ththings get quiet at work, right? So
Right? Enjoy them,
I
girl.
personally appreciated it. And other than that, I thank God everything is good, I would say.
Yes, good over here.
All right, so excuse me, we'll jump into our headlines.
Mm-hmm.
And just everybody knows, we're just gonna have a relaxed episode. We're just gonna talk about a bunch of episodes. Sorry, episodes. We're just gonna be talking about a bunch of issues that have been happening in the last week or two that we just think is culturally relevant and was interesting, and we just
And we
want
might
to,
have mentioned in our past episodes, so go take a listen. Go take a
yeah.
listen. You might just hear it again. Yes.
So yeah, we're just gonna go back and forth on all the hot topics that have been going on this week all around the world. All right, so we're gonna start with, okay, we're gonna start local. Let's start local
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
So
What's the
there's a
T dot up
story.
to? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, local, positive, all the good things. So I came across an article in Toronto, on the Toronto Now page, which Toronto Now is kind of like our local community paper,
Mm-hmm.
and that's online obviously now because nobody reads newspapers.
Right? I know. Yeah.
So pretty much they were announcing that the WNBA, Toronto's WNBA team, which pause. I didn't know we had an NBA and
Right?
WNBA. I don't know what. I didn't know that became official. I know we were talking, but it was in talks. I remember Drake was
Never
pushing
knew.
for that. I did not know that it actually became official in May.
Right?
So, newsflash: Toronto is getting a WNBA team, and right now they are commissioning for people to share name ideas for the
Ooh.
Toronto WNBA team. And I'm curious what season that they would be looking to like. I'm here, they're asking for a name. I hear, listen, they're just at the level of asking for a name, and I'm just like, okay, when are we gonna go start playing the
Right?
WNBA now? Like,
No,
when are we gonna have
let
a
me
team?
move
When
slow up here, so
Let me
let me
slow
move
down. We're
slow.
still looking we're still looking at the
They're contemplating names. Okay.
yeah, we're just they're asking the
Shoot.
public for names, so they didn't even
Right.
so
Let me move slow.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
we just found out. It looks like it was May that they decided that Toronto would be getting a team,
Mhm.
and then now I guess they're looking at. But that's to tell you, like, I'm sorry, I know I'm not, I don't have cable. I'm a cable cutter, and I don't
Mhm.
watch news regularly. But I feel like I should have known that Toronto had a WNBA team. Like, I feel like that's a miss. That I feel like they didn't make a big enough deal about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I feel like they didn't. And now's the time. Like if you're going to start a WNBA, like now's the time if ever where people are actually looking like they're looking for a WNBA team. So, Toronto, speed up the process. Like stop this. Like how come we don't know you have a WNBA team? We hear
Right.
everything about the Raptors and that's great. However, it's really sad that there isn't such a push. You know what I mean?
So there's
Um,
currently, I was looking up the NBA teams that are currently like active. And so there's currently 12. Obviously, there's six on the Eastern Conference and six on the Western Conference. We would fall into the Eastern Conference if when we. I wonder if they have to balance that out. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we'd fall in the. But I was just looking at the names that they do have because there's some teams that kind of take on some form of. It's kind of connected to the male teams, like Minnesota. Like so, WNBA has Minnesota Lynx, and I think it's
mhm.
Minnesota Timberwolves. So
Right.
that's there's a relationship to the male team, the men's team,
Right. Yeah.
but then there's
Yeah.
some that are random, like New York. WNBA has New York Liberty, but
Mhm.
the men have New York Knicks, which
Yeah.
so
Well, I mean, seeing that our team Raptorettes, I don't know. Like it
yeah,
just I don't know,
no,
like
no,
that's
no,
harder
no.
to kind of
It's hard. It does it, on top of being a tongue twister. It just we want something that's like you
stand
know
out. You want to
stand
stand
out
we want to
because
stand out.
if we want to that because if we want to follow like how some of the teams are connected, not all of them are connected to
No.
connected to the
No.
men's team, but if we were, I would say maybe another dinosaur. It would have to be another
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
reptile, I guess.
Yeah. Right?
Or yeah, I guess yeah. I don't know what
Something maybe no, we can't go bobcat. Sorry, never
camp
mind.
we have to go prehistoric because
Right?
there's only but then I guess that's why Raptors works because of all the prehistoric I don't remember some of my dinosaurs. All I know is
What,
Tricer.
T-Rex?
There's T Rex, the one you never forget the T Rex, the Triceratops, which is
Mhm.
another tongue twister.
Right?
Oh, what do you call pterodactyl? Even that's another pterodactyls, another tongue twister. Yeah,
What
they're
was the
not
one that flies again?
the pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I was thinking. So I
Mm.
guess it wouldn't be a really fun and sexy name. Like based on
No, and
dinosaur names are kind of but you could
right.
do like a raptor is like a predator, right? So then you could be
Yeah.
like the Toronto Predators or the Toronto Hunt. I don't know,
Something.
something. I don't know, but anyway, I was trying to Toronto Huntress something.
Right?
Um, yeah.
Well,
Is there a name that you would? Do you have something you could put in the bucket?
you know what? Like honestly, when I think of a female team, you want to seem strong, right? Like
Yeah,
however, it's not too strong like you're confusing us with men, you
yeah.
know? I don't know, something like something. I know I said Raptorette. Like I don't I know that's like
Yeah,
so
but if
far
we think
fetched.
about the other name, like Chicago Sky, Indiana Fever, and Washington Mystics, it could be random too.
Right.
None of these teams, none like Las
What
Vegas Aces.
lakes? I don't know. We have lots of lakes up here.
Um.
Um,
Okay, what's in the lake? So now that we're getting closer, because what's in catfish?
sharks. Let's go with sharks.
Sharks are not in the lake though.
But they're in water.
They're in the ocean. Yes.
Well, we don't have the ocean's not
I'm
too
trying to think
far.
of a predatory
See, right.
fish that's in the lake. I know it's out there.
Uh,
Barracuda, a barracuda. Because I don't want to say trout.
um, lynx,
Already
lynx.
taken. It's taken.
See,
Minnesota beat us. But anyway, Anybody listening in Toronto, put your hat in. Obviously, we're our choices aren't gonna win.
Yeah, sorry. I ain't got it. I
We
ain't got it
tried.
for you. I
We're
just
on.
found out that we had a WNBA.
Yeah,
Like, give me some time to
we're going
process.
on the fly. We're going on the
Like,
fly.
I literally found out yesterday. Okay, that we had a women's that they're trying to put together a women's team. When you told me, I was like, oh really? Oh wow, okay. So to try to formulate,
Yeah,
uh
we're just playing around.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you know what? I do hope that when they do think of a name or they decide on a name, that it represents some sort of strength or some sort of visionary, like something. Because to be honest, like to have a women's team in Canada, it's an achievement because we
Yeah, it
haven't
makes
had one
sense.
for a very long time. So you know well, we'll see how that turns out. I'll be really curious to see what names they narrow it down to,
Hmm.
and what names they pick
Okay,
whenever that
so
happens, because we
yeah,
move
like,
like snails up here.
we're
Like,
just
I don't
happy to
know,
get a team at this
like
point.
at this point, you know.
So, well, Olympics is almost over. We said last week that we covered the first half. Now we're gonna. There's been a lot of juice, so much drama.
Right.
Just today alone, we're recording on Saturday,
Oh
August 10th.
boy.
Today alone, oh my God, Jordan Childs. They took away her bronze medal.
I didn't
You
hear
see
about
that?
that. Holy
That's the breaking
smokes.
news. Breaking news.
Why?
They
What's up?
said, I knew when she performed, there was like some debate, I think, something about her difficulty score, and the US actually submitted something for the difficulty score, and they told, like, they called it out during the performance, and then the judges reviewed it, and they still ended up giving her the medal. So there was a little bit of go back and forth that during the competition. This is during the competition, live when the competition is happening, right? So that's
Wow.
fine. So you mean to tell me a week later, or how many days
Right?
later, 4 or 5 days later, now the Romanians are pissed and they went and contended it. And through that contention,
She lost it.
they took the medal from her. Her sister went online. She's not online, which I do think she should stay off online during this time. She's devastated. Is she said that they have never ever done this before. And I saw a comment online. I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. They
Put it
they
out.
could
Put it
they
out.
couldn't they couldn't they didn't like seeing all those black girls on the
They sure
podium.
didn't.
They did not like seeing those three
Sure
black girls
didn't.
on the podium for the floor exercise.
Okay.
Somebody was pissed
Right? From the
because
up top. Let me tell
here's
you,
my
from
thing:
the
is if you why didn't they do it during the competition? Even if they didn't have time, the next day, even. You mean to tell me a whole week goes by and now you're gonna take this girl's medal? It was an error on the judges, and Jordan should not be punished.
and that's
This
the problem, right?
They
Is
said
that
this has never happened ever in the history of Olympics. Gymnastics is one of
yet
the
it has to
oldest.
happen to the black girl, right? Mm-hmm.
That I'm sorry,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
People are
gonna put
gonna
it out
say
there. I'm gonna
people
put
are
it
gonna
out there.
say we're race baiting or whatever, but I'm gonna say I
Okay,
this
sure.
never happened before.
I'll take that. I am race baiting because guess what? This is a racial situation. Would they have done that to any other Olympic athlete
Yeah, if it
if
was
she
a
wasn't
Russian girl, if
black?
it was a Russian girl, would they have done it?
Right. If it was a Chinese girl or an Asian, well, like, would they have done that at all? No. So why are we trying to set new standards here with the black girl? For real? I think that there was a lot of salt
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yep.
that was
Mm.
just around the team, period. And it started with their own teammate, or past teammate,
Yeah.
boohooing and crying on the big internet, okay?
Oh, that's another one. Oh Lord, another
Right?
drama.
And I feel like she just got the ball going. That's what I feel like. But it's sad that she had to lose her medal.
Yeah.
That's
I
not her
hopefully
fault.
this can be resolved, and this doesn't happen. The
This
U.S. is.
Paris Olympics is shit,
I'm gonna.
okay?
I'm gonna come. I didn't want to say it last week, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now. At Paris 2024, I'm siding the fuck out of you.
Right?
Like, I'm sorry. I just have to say it like that. Sorry, I was drinking earlier, so I'm a little biased. Like, what the heck?
She having a good time, yeah. Listen, the people in the Paris, this is a horrible Olympics. Horrible. Horrible. And it's not just because you took the medal from this young girl. Like, honestly, man. Really? And it's a technicality that wasn't her fault. So she performed as she was supposed to. The
Hmm.
judges made an error, and now she has to pay for said error. That's what we're doing. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Next time, if they ever go back to Paris, I'm not watching. And to be honest,
I
like,
don't think you're gonna go back. Paris was a
no, I don't think
bust.
so. I If they ever, like, you out the gate. Listen, nobody is gonna offer to go to Paris again. Nobody is gonna say, "Hey, why don't we give it to Paris?" No,
No, I
no,
think there's enough. The reviews are in, like we said, we were going to talk about as well
yeah,
as another thing
yeah.
that came out of the Olympics is a lot of the athletes were not happy with that situation, the Olympic grounds or the Olympic I
What
forgot
they
what they
call
call
the
it, village,
village,
the Olympic village. Yeah, they were not happy. And the thing is, most countries, let me not say countries, most athletes, especially in this amateur sports that the Olympics features, they're not pro athletes. They're not million. They're not like the men's basketball team, the U.S. men's
right,
basketball team, where they're making millions of dollars. They're like they're people scraping by who are so passionate that about their sport that they've dedicated their lives and energy to it, and they're not rich people, so they have to stay in these accommodations. Or if not, then we saw, like you said, there, I think it was the Italian guy, I don't remember which country, I'm
yeah.
thinking
He said,
Italian.
"Screw this! I'd rather sleep on the floor
He's
outside than
sleeping
the
on a
court."
bench floor, a bench floor, sorry, a bench, not even on the bench, on the ground of the
He was
park in front of a
beside
bench,
the bench on the floor.
because the accommodations have been said they don't have AC. It's hot as shit right now. Even in France, it's really sticky and humid over there, and the food is terrible. I've seen the TikToks and the shorts
Me
videos of
too.
the food, and I'm like, ugh. I'll be like, listen, I would have to go to find. I'd have to pay somebody. I'd be like, I walk on the street and I like, you live in France? You cook? Can I come over for dinner?
Right,
I'm an Olympian. I can put you on my social media or some shit. I don't know what you want, but like, listen,
right.
I need a healthy meal to eat
This is
outside
the
of the
first time in
quality.
Olympics history that I ever heard so many athletes complain about the conditions.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first Olympics that I can honestly say that there there are a lot of people complaining. It's not just
Yeah.
one or two, because sometimes you get, Debbie Downers, or, that's no, a lot of people are complaining about it. Not just what they're eating, but where they're sleeping. They're sleeping on makeshift beds out of cardboard. Can you imagine? You just put your body to its top level of performance and have to go lie down on a cardboard bed? Could you imagine? Hell no. Listen, Paris, if you weren't prepared to do the Olympics properly, you should have never did it. But you know what? Listen. I've heard a lot of things that when people go to Paris, they this rude awakening happens. A lot of people that I've talked to, everyday people, and whenever they say they've gone to Paris, it's like, yeah, the sights were nice, and to see certain buildings like Eiffel, all of
Mm,
that's great.
mm,
But generally speaking, no one has ever come back from Paris saying, "Oh, the food was just spectacular." I've heard about croissants and I've heard about baked goods, but I've
mm.
never heard about someone ranting and raving about how great the food is, or how, the ambiance was so nice, or I've never really heard that. I haven't even heard, shopping. And it's
The shop,
supposed to be
no,
like
the
big.
shop. Oh, the shopping is good. Like the
Well, I've
only
heard,
reason,
like, in terms of higher name brand like
yeah,
Chanel and
yes,
Gucci, and then okay, yeah. But everyday people who are
mm,
just going there to visit, just regular schmegular people, I've never heard somebody come back and rant and rave. I've never
mm.
heard it. Yeah, I've heard, oh yeah, it was nice, and yeah, it was okay, and that type of thing.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, okay. Was it worth it? Would you go back? And I've never heard anybody say yes.
That's
Maybe
true. Like
that's
people
just my
like,
friend group. Maybe that's just the people I know, but I've heard different people, different walks of life have told me
yeah,
that. So I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
Paris,
You
isn't
do
all that
have to
it's
have
cracked
a
up to be.
you do have to have a good travel budget for Paris to enjoy it. I think, based on the people that I know who go and how they experience Paris, you don't have to be rich, but you definitely have to have a healthy
Yes,
travel
yes,
budget.
but I've never heard anybody like, for instance, my mother has gone to Paris.
Hmm.
Yeah, and she's a shopper. Okay, this woman can shop you out of a house and a home. I'm telling you. However, when she went, she was like, "Yeah, it was okay. You know, yeah, I did a little shopping. Went to Chanel and Cartier.
Mm.
Okay." Like she wasn't blown away.
Yeah,
But when she went to um
Italy.
when she went to Italy, when she
Hmm.
one that she just came back from Portugal,
Mm.
she couldn't stop talking about the place, right?
Yeah.
And I
Mm.
understand that Portugal, maybe that's not a good example because she was like on the coast and it's a different type of almost islandish type
Yeah.
vibe. And I can understand that, right? However, she never said any, like, she wasn't, oh, yeah, like, when she came back from Paris and she went on like a European tour. So
Yeah.
it was like she went to
She's.
Paris, she went to Italy, she went to England. Um, there was another place that was on the tour, but I don't remember right now.
Yeah.
But it was like a four-stop place, right? And her and her
Mm.
best friend went, and she didn't really. She's like, yeah,
Yeah. I think Paris is one of those places. Either you love it or you hate it.
yes, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yes.
actually. I'm
Mhm.
realizing, right? And so, but anyways, back to the Olympics. Like in terms
Yes.
of the
Yes.
Olympics, I was kind of sad to see, you know, when I was growing up, the Olympics seemed to be a big to do,
Hmm.
and it
Yep.
was like when an athlete was able to go to the Olympics, you have to be next to the best of the best, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Not only that, but when you heard of the Olympics, right, it just had so much prestige to it, right?
Hmm.
Not so much this time. Because what I'm hearing about the Olympics and what I'm realizing, these athletes are not making a ton of money.
Nope. The average athlete. Nope.
Okay, that even if they win a gold medal, they're walking away with, from what I heard. Now, I'm not an athlete and I'm not in the Olympics, so I have to hear different.
Hmm.
But I've heard that it's chump change. It's like
It is.
40 to
Yeah. About.
$45,000 if you win gold.
Oh yeah. U.S. If you win gold, I think it's around 40, something late 30s, early 40s. Like you're right. It's something around there,
Right?
right?
And that's if you win gold,
Gold. They don't have nothing for silver and bronze. That
right?
I
Or
from what
or
I
the
read.
participation ribbon. There's no participation ribbon here, so.
But there's other countries, like say, which usually it's the smaller countries that are wealthy, like Hong Kong. I read in Hong Kong, if you get gold from the Hong Kong team, 700K USD.
See?
I saw Turkey and some of those other countries, it's like 200K, something like
See?
that. Some
That is motivation.
and
Okay? That's
in Canada,
motivation.
I don't remember. I don't know what it is now. I can't remember what. Oh, I should look it up. But Canada is like still struggling. Canada is probably closer to the U.S. Probably even less than the U.S.
Right? So just imagine you have to fund yourself. Like you have to train, you have to get yourself prepared to go over there. You're buying tickets and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Then when you get there, your accommodations are shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are many athletes I've heard in this Olympics have had to, like, first of all, they said, I'm not staying in the village. And
Yeah.
second, I need a chef. I need somebody to cook because I can't, like, what is this that they're feeding them? And the clips that I saw, I was like, really?
Mm-hmm.
And then the big thing was, can we get some protein? There's no meat around the place. They shipped in a whole bunch of meat after everybody made it stink. But again, like, I feel like Paris just threw this together literally threw it together. It doesn't seem to have much organization. It doesn't seem to accommodate the athletes. And to be quite honest, that's why you're having the Olympics, is to have these athletes come together and put on a show for everybody, okay, of their talent. And it's sad to see that you can't even feed them. Like I was telling you yesterday, can I get a fish sticks, please?
Right?
Okay? All the damn peas that I'm seeing in the listen, can I get some meat? They need protein. They're using
Yeah,
their
that was the
muscle.
biggest issue. Outside of the quality of the food being shit, they don't even have the food that should properly nourish the caliber of
I don't
athletes.
understand it.
No meat. They had to ship in extra protein
And
to
that was only because people were making a stink. So if nobody made so if there wasn't a big enough stink, you wouldn't have fed them any, right? So if nobody said anything about it, the Olympics would come, go and gone, and you don't give them no meat? Like, come on. And I specify the meat because you need protein in order to rehabilitate your muscles that you just spent all day using. Like, I don't know. Come on, Paris. What are you doing? I don't know what they're doing.
yeah, so that's the food. So okay, a bunch of things happened today and I'm just going to go through them quickly. So we went through the controversial shit. Here's some
Highlights,
not
especially for
since
Canada.
let's call it highlights, but now I have some. This might be the drama, the last drama. So amazingly, despite everybody counting them out, the Canadian men won the 4x100 today, right? Or not
Mm-hmm.
today, I think it was yesterday. Amazing, everybody's celebrating. Aaron Brown and Andre DeGrasse actually left with hardware when it didn't look like they would. Amazing. So now, as I was talking to you and I was looking at some of the highlights, their gold medal has been contested. Uh,
Mm-mm.
and I was like, what the heck? And now I'm looking at a photo where the third leg, his last name is Rodney. I can't remember if it's Jerome Rodney. Or anyway, his last name Rodney, passing to DeGrasse.
Mm-hmm.
And his foot is on the line of the lane. And if anybody knows track, you have to stay in your lane. So they might lose that gold. Fingers crossed, but
I really hope not.
I hope not, because I was looking to see, is the baton in, because if the baton is in DeGrasse's hand, then it shouldn't matter, right?
Exactly. If he already took
But
off, then it doesn't matter.
but the photo, it looks very incriminating. So don't be surprised. I hate the breaking news because I'm literally looking at the photo and this is looking shaky. It's looking
Mm-mm.
very shaky. Canada, I don't know. So it's hard for me to rejoice after just literally I just saw this. So I don't know what to say.
Uh-uh.
So there's
Really?
that. Another highlight for me was the basketball game. Did you watch the basketball game today, France and US, or see
No, I
highlights?
didn't because my cousin's out. So I kind
Oh,
of,
you're not.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not keeping up. You're not keeping up.
No, no.
Uh,
After they fell out, who did they lost to France?
yeah, and France was in the final today. So I can
Mm-hmm.
see France beat us. So you didn't want to see that game, but at
No.
least you could have seen France lose. So it
Well,
was
that makes me feel a little bit better, but um yeah, I didn't get to watch it. Now I'm on to track and field.
yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
once they were out, I was like, okay, and track and field. Here
Yeah,
we
so
go.
track, there was some amazing things with track today. Like you said, the four
Hmm.
by one men. The women, Shakiri got her gold with the four
Yeah.
by one men in the
Yeah.
US. Did an excellent job. Nothing. There's nothing I could really say about that. Yeah, they should have won, and they did win. Unlike the US men again, they fucking shit the bed. They shit the bed
Mm-mm.
really badly. The men,
Yeah.
it was really bad. It was like really, really bad. Okay, not
Mm-mm.
good. This is bad pass. Like, we know bad passes. There was actually a bad pass with the women, but you know what? They cleaned it up in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball. So US beat France, but it was a close. Everybody was like, "Oh, Serbia was the tough team. Like they thought they were gonna coast with France." NASA.
Mm-mm.
They
France,
fought.
NASA.
This game was more. I didn't think anything could get more intense than Serbia. No, because France
Mm-mm.
was always within 10 points, and for a
Really?
basketball game, that's very close. That's two threes and a field
Uh-uh.
goal. Like, you know what I mean? So France played their heart out, and remember, the crowd was on the side of France. We're in Paris, right?
Of course, of
So the
course.
crowd was really boosting up this team, and it was a really good game. I actually came out to recommend you, even though your cousin's out. It,
Really?
it
Okay,
was
well,
it
I
was a
might take
lot
a
of
look.
drama.
See.
It was good. Like, um, the breakdancing. Okay, here's what I have to say. Anything else in
Hmm.
track? What else was in track? Anything crazy? Um,
Oh,
you
other than that other girl, what's her name? And she didn't get to run, and it's her last year. What's her name? Shelly. Is it
Shelly Ann.
Shelly?
Yeah, I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Shelly Ann didn't make it in, and I already
sabotage.
it's look, all I'm gonna say is very fishy, and I want to hear when everybody's back. I want the story, because I
Yep.
don't think the story is not nothing. She's being quiet, and I think she's respectful of the organization, but I want the
She's just
tea.
waiting for everything to done.
Yes, as she should. I think that's respectful. But I want to hear. I want to know what happened. I want to know the tea.
Hmm. But
So
other than that, hmm.
other than that, U.S. We didn't talk. Oh, the men's 200. Noah didn't win. Noah came third.
Third.
And here's why this. I don't need to explain this. Noah's a big mouth. He's been talking about he's gonna get tree goal and everything, and I don't have a problem. I know the Jamaicans are hating, and other Americans. Some even other Americans don't like him because he's very boasty. As we say, Jamaicans say boasty, but
Yep.
basically boastful, and obviously, but yeah, and then and they said he had COVID, quote unquote COVID. Although I'm not going to question it. I think there was an official COVID diagnosis. So they're like, you ran on the track with COVID.
Right.
Um, but COVID, I don't. I think everybody knows COVID's been it's been around. Like it's going around right now. Like it is
Hmm.
definitely going around right now. I've heard a few handful of people in my office who've actually gone down with it in the last couple of weeks.
Hmm.
And I can imagine somewhere in Paris where there's a whole bunch of people there
All over
that
the world. Yeah.
all over the
I
world,
know.
it would be even more rampant. But regardless, he came third to, and the person that won was a young guy from Botswana. He's young, 22, 23, very young,
Hmm.
and other American. But I don't know if like Noah Lyles was supposed. That's his race. Like the fact that Noah came not only didn't win but came third.
Right.
It had to be COVID because NASA. There's
Well,
no.
listen, but he has COVID and he still pulled three. Okay. I mean, yes, you're bossy and people are expecting you to get gold,
Mhm.
but the fact that you still went on the track having the full COVID, and still bust a three, like you still came out with bronze. You know what I mean? Like, just think
Yeah.
if he was on top of his game, maybe he might have fulfilled what he said he wanted to do.
Yeah, it's true. But the Jamaicans and the West Indians in general were like, a mere foolishness. Take your
Right?
licks. Take your
Right?
licks and shut up your mouth about
Yeah,
COVID.
hush ups.
Hush up your mouth about COVID. So yeah, it was really exciting. Was there anything in track that you Canada? I don't know. Canada had some wins in the field. Actually, they actually got some golds in the field events and stuff.
Yeah, with was it a shot put or was it the
Yeah,
disc toss that the
I think that no, the
women's team?
hammer throw. There's a black mixed
Yes,
girl. She won for hammer throw.
I was very surprised. I was like,
Okay, girl.
right,
And then another Canadian girl got the pole vault bronze. She got
right,
bronze.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
we did a little something something.
yeah. We've come
Was
up
there
in the
anything that you
ranks.
saw in track that you were excited about or happy to see?
No, we've kind of gone over them all. But what I
Okay.
am excited to see is that we're in terms of ranking of countries. We're
Okay,
at,
before we move on, let's do that. We did that last week. I said we would go. I said we would go. I was hoping for 6, but I think that's aggressive. You were saying 8. So let's
well, and they're
see.
11th.
Oh, did you just look it up?
I literally just looked it up.
Canada's 11?
We're
Oh
11th,
shit! Who's 10?
right?
Who moved
Who's
us out of
10?
the
It's
way?
Italy.
Okay, yeah, Italy was cleaning up in the track though. They were cleaning up.
Yes.
Okay, okay. You know what,
Yeah. So
Italy? I
we
could.
have, as a total right now, we have 9 gold,
Yeah.
7 silver, 11 bronze for a total of
What
27.
do we at least have more medals than Italy, even if they have more
Mm-mm,
gold?
no. No,
No.
not quite.
Okay,
But
who's it?
we came up. We came up. I think we last time it was
No, last
14th.
time we were in 10th. We were in 10th. Wait, no, we were in 10. We were in 10. We were in 10.
Oh shit.
That's why I was thinking, okay, you were saying they're going to move up 2. I was being ambitious saying, oh, it'd be nice if they went to 6,
Yeah,
right?
when
I
you were
knew.
saying that, I was like, you know where you live, girl.
And then you're like, okay, you're like maybe 2 spots after the
Maybe,
track.
maybe.
And
Yeah,
then so they went down. Damn Canada,
right,
and then
right,
they might take away one of our gold. Shit.
right. This is
And
a
it's a disaster.
it
I don't
is, but
know.
you know what, Canada, you're trying your best out there, and you have lots of obstacles. People trying to take shit from you and all sorts of things.
Yeah, they're
All sorts of,
talking shit. The U.S. guys, Noah was talking shit against our Canadian guys, and we shut it down. And I hope that whatever happens, that it comes out in their favor. But
me too,
based on the photo I just saw, I also wouldn't be surprised if they took
right,
it away.
right.
Okay, and the
Well, we'll
last thing,
see.
we're gonna move off of that, and then so I did look up Canada. Their gold winners get 20K. But they do give silver and bronze some money as well, so that's nice.
It is nice, but the tickets to Paris are not cheap. So, you know, I don't know the logistics if the team members
I would
get
hope that
tickets to
you
go,
know what I would hope, which because I saw Air Canada all over this. My assumption is that Air Canada must, because they're all over CBC
right?
with the streaming and stuff. Their ads are everywhere, so I'm assuming that Air Canada, I would, if they're a Canadian company, they better have paid for those or covered those
Yeah, they
flights for
better
our
just have
athletes.
flown them over there and
Just
stop the
the athletes,
nonsense.
it doesn't need to be their families or nothing, but the
Exactly.
athletes, I don't think the athletes should have to pay to go
I
to the
don't, but
Olympics.
I don't
But you're
know.
to your point, yeah, you never know.
Right? I've been hearing that, oh, they pay for their flights. That's why people can have a choice if they're going to stay in the village or not,
Hmm.
because they're paying for their own accommodation if you're not in the village. I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know. It's really funny, but either way, Canada, I'm rooting for you. You're in the top, 15,
Hmm.
the top 20. This is good stuff. Let's not move any lower down,
Oh, please, please,
please.
for the love of God.
Love, jeez, on. And we do hope that the four brothers, they get to keep their
Mm.
medal. I
Hmm.
really, really hope so. Yeah, but you know what? This Olympics, I think, was trash. So, you know, hey,
Yeah,
do your best.
I'm gonna have to go with you there. It was not great. It was not great.
No, this is not like, just think, Jeanette, like how many times the Olympics in your lifetime has come on and you're at the edge of your seat, right? You're at the edge of your seat. You're calling up your brethren, like, yo, did you see the race? Like, right? Okay. Or the streets in Toronto are just chaotic because everybody has the Olympics on.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's wearing the shirts. Okay, I saw one little girl last week with the
Hmm.
Paris shirt on the Olympics. One little girl. I'm just thinking how much hype it usually has,
Yeah.
and this is trash. So it is what it is. We'll make it up in the Winter Olympics. Yeah.
Okay. So moving on to some pop culture stuff. So Caresha, please.
Carisha.
So
My.
she did an episode of her podcast, aptly named Caresha, please.
Hmm.
Where she was interviewed by her good friend, her good goody friend,
Hmm.
Sassy Santana, about all the stuff that's been going on in her life recently. And she addressed her the issue, the Diddy thing, as to, like, her relationship with Diddy,
Hmm.
where she's at with that relationship. She addressed the breakup with JT from her group, the City Girls. And those are the two main things. It was only half an hour.
Right.
Normally, when she does an episode, it's gonna be, and she's interviewing somebody, it's gonna be, at least, it's gonna be definitely more than an hour. So
Yeah.
this was only half an hour. I would say, although she didn't look rehearsed, this had to be rehearsed. And obviously, to me, and I'm just saying logically, I would hope that it was actually rehearsed, in that she needs to choose her words very carefully around the
Yeah,
whole Diddy thing.
yeah, she
For
did.
everything else, whatever, but the Diddy thing, she definitely could not just go there and go fly off on the go do freestyle that interview anything to do with Diddy, right?
Even though she tries to make us think that.
Yeah, she definitely was good at
I'm being
deflecting.
raw and
Yeah,
real here.
exactly.
No, you're
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cut it.
And yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I do want to watch it, but
Yeah, I did.
huh?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd love to hear your thoughts. So,
Mhm.
but the two things that the clips that I saw was pretty much with Diddy. She didn't take account, like, for her. Basically, she's. I'll sum it up from what I saw.
Mhm.
And if there's more from what you saw the full thing,
Yeah,
please add
I
that
did.
context. So she pretty much just says, the Diddy that I know is not the Diddy that I been heard about, right? The Diddy that I was with is not the Diddy that whatever,
Mhm.
whatever. I didn't see
Mhm.
he was, I saw him as an older man who was established. When I met him, he was being celebrated by the music industry for everything that he's done in his career. And I was, happy to be around that. And we wasn't even a business thing. He was basically empowering me, encouraging me, and telling me that there's more to me than just music, and expanded my brand, whatever. So, in a
Mhm.
nutshell, she's pretty much saying that all this shit, I don't know nothing about this shit. That, like, the man I had was like a good guy, and I don't know about any of that. But I did end the relationship because
Mhm.
obviously it's stressful and everything that's going on, and da 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 da.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Second point was obviously the big thing with her relationship with JT since breaking up, like, the
Mhm.
breakup and where that is, and obviously how she feels or whatever. And I personally, how I feel about that is, I guess she has her right to share her side, especially since they had the tiffs, they had public tiffs.
Mhm.
But I do feel like maybe it's not possible, but I didn't like her addressing the issue with Saucy and JT's not there. Like, it's her. You know what? It's her truth. JT has her opportunity to share her truth, which I
Yeah.
think fine. But I kind of didn't. I don't know. It was, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
touchy, and I think there's a lot going on there that we don't even know.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
that's fine. She's pretty much just recounting what happened, and I think
Mhm.
based on what we've seen, that it's fine for them to go their separate ways. But I do agree, if it did happen that JT decided to work on an album without saying, she doesn't need Carisha's permission. But
No.
if you're that cool, if you're still, even if you're not the same friends that you were, if you're still in a good place, you should be like, "Hey girl, yeah, I'm working on my album."
Right?
Whether she
Mhm.
supports you or not, she knows. And then you really know where the relationship stands. But she didn't know. So you're obviously, I could be with Carisha. If me and you are friends, Kim, and
Mhm.
we're a group and we did a thing, even though our friendship is probably not the same because of everything that's happened.
Right.
If you went and said, "Oh, I'm going to work on my own album and do my solo album," why wouldn't I'd be like, "Why wouldn't you tell me? There's nothing wrong with you do that. Why wouldn't you tell me?" It's kind of like, are you trying to like stab me in the back? Are you trying to like what? There'd be so many things going in my head.
Right.
And
Uh-huh.
so then that's where you lash out, because you're like, is this girl friend or foe? I'd be
Well,
like,
I
is this
mean,
friend or foe?
right. And the way in which you would do it is like, are you trying to like finalize us so that you can pursue something else? Is
Yeah,
that why
like,
you're
you
telling
just be
me?
straight. I'm doing this to try it, or I'm doing this because I don't
Right.
want to be in a group. Whatever your reason,
Yeah.
you should be able to. I know, and it's probably tough, but you should say it. At the very least, you should know. You don't have to explain yourself either. You could just be like, I'm doing it, and go from
Right.
there.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
those are the
okay.
two main things for me.
Right. And yes. So, okay, I watched the entire interview, and it's good if you do go and watch it because you'll see a lot of the clips and the context behind it.
Hmm.
But first I wanted to say to Saucy Santana. Saucy, you were actually really good at
Mm.
interviewing her. Now, am I silly to think that you came up with those questions
Mhm.
on the cuff. No, you
Mhm.
didn't. This
Mhm.
was well and planned. Since
Mhm.
Caresha was in has also been mentioned in the many lawsuits that Diddy has.
Mhm.
Yeah, you definitely planned those questions. However, you planned them very strategically. So whoever you sat down with, whoever PR was in that meeting, they made sure that you addressed the issues, not head on, but that you address them. And so I found that the questions weren't lollygagging questions, like they were
Mhm.
actually real questions that people want to know and people are
Mhm.
curious about. So they were very strategic in their wording of the questions. They were
Mhm.
very strategic not to necessarily insult Diddy.
Mhm.
um they were very careful. Well, Carisha was very
Mhm.
careful on how she answered that
Mhm.
whole question
Mhm.
and segment
Mhm.
of the interview. And so first addressing Diddy. Now, Carisha, I could understand you did not experience Diddy the way that he was. You know why? Because you had built a brand before you even met Diddy. It's
Mhm.
just like J Lo. J Lo was a superstar. He hooked up with J Lo. He never put his hands on J Lo because he knew that he couldn't.
Mhm.
With you, you're loud, boisterous. There's no way in hell. Okay, you from the hood. There's no way in hell you are a survivor of domestic violence, which I found out in that interview. She's had
Mhm.
2 prior relationships where she survived domestic violence. So
Mhm.
I really do believe her when she says that she didn't get the Cassie version of Diddy.
Mhm.
She got a different, reformed J-Lo version of
Mhm.
Diddy, right? And so she too is a superstar. So, like, there's no way that Diddy was able to commit these type of heinous crimes for the last 20, almost 30 years with being a doofus. He's not
Mhm.
dumb. He's
Yeah.
very smart. He chooses his women wisely.
Mhm. Mhm.
Put that out there.
Yep.
Second, there was a point in the conversation about Diddy where she said that she lost herself or she was losing, she felt like she lost her personality.
Yeah.
And it seemed as though what she really wanted to say was, I was so wrapped up in Diddy and his nonsense and going on with Diddy
Mm.
that I
Mm.
lost who I was.
Yeah, she
And
was her. She was his cheerleader. She was
a
his
hundred
cheerleader.
percent, my girl
Mm.
was in the big awards with a
Mm.
sign in a red dress, jumping up and down. Oh, hey, Poppy, oh, go, Poppy. Yeah, okay,
Mm.
we understood you. You really did lose your personality, and you did get wrapped up in Diddy, so much so where you didn't just lose your personality. I think you lost your best friend too.
Mm.
And I'll call it a buck. If you truly are friends with each other, because you guys started this group together in the hood, big dreams, big bright eyes of doing big things
Mm.
together. I think what happened truly was you got so wrapped up in Diddy that you forgot about JT.
Mm.
And JT said, "You know what? Right, I'm gonna have to go solo." Is the way that JT handled it right? Maybe not. I don't think that that was the way to go about it, right? And it was kind of like, I'm ending this to start this, right?
Mm.
That's how it felt when she addressed JT.
Mm.
But generally speaking, I think all of that happened because you were so wrapped up in Diddy. Diddy
Yeah,
was
she.
propelling you in a different direction than you
Yes.
were actually in,
Mm.
at shows on TV, streaming.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that's where you want to be, right?
Mhm.
So you found a way to do that and you got there. But let's keep it a buck, Carisha. This is what I was missing out of the damn interview. And obviously you're not gonna tell on yourself. But bitch, you were involved in this shit. I'm sorry, I have to curse up in this because
Mhm.
this heifer wanted to sit on this interview and act like she ain't got nothing to do with Diddy and his, whatever he was going on with. I'm sorry, Carisha, you were well involved with that because when I found out that Diddy was giving you a general allowance of $250,000 a month, that ain't for nothing. And I'm sorry, for Diddy, there ain't no pum pum that's worth 250 for him.
No, right? Right?
Okay? So let's keep it a buck. You were a part of that man's enterprise towards the end of it. Don't sugarcoat shit with me. I know damn well that you were. That's why you're choosing your words wisely. That's why you're backing away, because you see that you could be involved in this to an extent where you'll lose everything that you were trying to build. Right? Your name didn't you're mentioned in lawsuits. Plus, you yourself went on the internet telling one of his other chicks that you Diddy will do this and Diddy will do that. So you already told on yourself. Now you're in these lawsuits with Diddy. Okay, so yeah, you're going to be very strategic on how you use your words and how you answer. So yeah, you're going to make it seem like, oh, I just needed to focus on myself. And she kept saying, I need to pour into me. I need to pour into me. Girl, you weren't pouring into yourself when you were accepting $250,000 a month? Please, girl, you were all about yourself when you got with Diddy. That's the straight truth.
Mm, mm,
Second, with JT, you left her behind in your dust and you expected her to stay there. No. There was a point in the interview where she gave us a little tea on how they were actually doing. And
mm,
they were not doing well. I mean,
mm.
we could see that a mile
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
When you dropped an album, how did that do? Oh, it crashed and burned. Yeah, of
Mm-hmm.
course you're not doing well. Duh. But here's my thing. Maybe I'm loyal to a default,
Mm-hmm.
but if I start something with you, like example, we started this podcast together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If I want to venture out and do something else,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna respect you because you're not just someone I started a podcast with, you're my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I care. So I'm gonna tell you, you know, Jeanette, this is what I was thinking of doing. And I don't know, do you think it's something I should get
Mm-hmm.
into? How would you feel about that? I'm gonna pose it to you. We started this together.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I'm not just gonna be so nonchalant and not give a shit about what you think and how you feel about it. Because at the end of the day, something's got to give. If JT is going on a solo career, where's the City Girls? Listen,
Right.
we can pretend in the music business that, groups, they don't break up, they just explore other options. Bunch of bullshit. Once you explore another option and you go solo, there is no group. Period. Because now your brand is no longer the group. Your
Mm-hmm.
brand is your brand. So, I kind of think that over time, their relationship kind of, went sour for
Yeah.
different reasons. They weren't
Mm-hmm.
making money. They probably, JT was really the talent.
Yeah.
Let's just
We.
keep it in
Yeah.
terms of music, because
Yes.
I think that, she does have, um, I think she does have an edge. That's why
Mm-hmm.
she was able to spark Diddy's attention.
Yeah. No.
Carisha,
She does have a.
she has
She has
a
it girl. She has it girl energy for sure.
she does. She has it
Mm,
girl energy. She has a superstar light
mm.
that people are attracted to, even with your raunchiness. You
Yep.
know, people are still right. And so Diddy saw that. And one thing I'll give Diddy, which I don't give him much,
Mm.
is this man could spot talent from 10 miles away.
Yep.
Okay, he could spot talent like nobody's business. If you look up the lineup of people that have come across Bad Boy, we're talking the greats. So he has an eye for that. He has a knack for that. So I believe that she has that.
Mm.
And there's something about Carisha for some particular reason that you want to hear her.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear what she has to say. So I will say one thing. I do want to mention it again. Saucy, you were good in that interview. You hear me? Because that's your friend. That's your friend, right? And so you weren't jabbing at her. You asked the right questions. You gave her a chance to talk. You supported her through the rougher parts of the interview. You were a really good interviewer. Like, you should really look into that, Saucy. For
Mm.
real, for real. Like, I was actually impressed by your interviewing skills. I was like, you're more than just a beard and nails. Isn't that nice? But in terms of Carisha, the interview overall gave us nothing. It really didn't. At the end of the day, people want to know what your real involvement with this man was. But we understand that there's a whole lot of, legalities, and you got to be careful, and you got to watch your step. And it was nice to see that you were willing to put yourself, at least appear like you're putting yourself out there for everybody to see and know. You Caresha, you were very good at answering those questions. You thought, you, you, when she was answering the questions, you could see her thought process, that she was actually thinking about the answers before she answered them. And I'll give you that. You did pretty good with that. You didn't give us too much. It's sad to see that the City Girls are no longer together, only because they started something and it seems like it really ended not just the group but their friendship.
Mm.
She does talk about that in her interview as well, that they've kind of gone their own way. Like, she's gone her way and I've gone
Yes.
mine,
Mm.
and no bad feelings towards her or anything like that, but I'm gonna go mine, and she's gonna go hers. And if I were you, JT, I'd keep it pushing, because this girl right here, she's wrapped up in something you don't want your name associated to.
Mm.
But there's one thing that I wanted to say, and I know it's a side, I'm sidetracking 100% here. But I think we mentioned it last time. Kai Sinet,
Yeah.
that young man, he has a lot of morals and ethics, that
Hmm.
young man. And to not turn a blind eye. And I just thought of him while we're talking about this, because Caresha had to turn a blind eye left, right, and damn center.
Mm.
She had to turn a blind eye to the things that she knows that he was capable of doing, even if he didn't do it to her.
Yeah.
Because you can't go online to another one of his broads and try to tell, oh, if I wanted you to eat me out, I'd get Diddy to do it. That gave insight. That gave insight to, you turned a blind eye many a times. And so I can't really rock with that too much, Carisha, because that means that you were willing to sell your morals and your ethics at a very low cost, like a very low price. And I just can't really rock with that. I can't really rock with that. But it was nice to see the interview overall. And Carisha, like, I think you need to come out of music. I don't think that's really your calling. I think that was the entrance into the entertainment world,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
but it's not your calling. It wasn't your calling. I think doing some sort of entertainment, something like this podcast
Yeah.
or
What
this,
she's doing, yeah, I actually
right?
enjoy her as
I
an
think it's up
interviewer.
her alley, to be
Mm-hmm.
quite honest. Um, I think she's better at it, than actual rapping and so on. JT, girl, I'm hearing good things. I'm hearing good things, that you're doing okay, you're doing all right in these streets. You're trying to rap and stuff, you're trying to go on tour and stuff, you're trying to do all these things. And JT, kudos to you. You know what I mean? I'm glad that you guys can let this friendship just die gracefully, because that's what it's done. Died gracefully. But Carisha, please give us the truth, heifer, because you were holding back the truth. That's what I didn't like about the interview, because you could see it, that she was holding back the truth, and she knows more than she's letting on, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
I think it's better that you're away from this guy,
Yeah. That's all I really wanted to hear. I was happy to hear that.
right? And I hope that's legit. I hope that's legit, because he was giving you $250,000 a month. That's more than some people will ever see in their lifetime. Okay? So I really truly hope that you've let go of the diddler. But you know what? Let's move on from Carisha, please.
Mm.
Because, Carisha gonna be all right.
She's
Because
gonna be.
honestly, that I think that whole interview went viral.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, she held and oh, another thing. Carisha, you did the right thing. You have a good publicist, man,
Mm-hmm.
because you waited just enough time where it's still relevant and people want to know,
Mm-hmm.
and just enough time where you now doing this, it sparked something viral, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
another couple months from now, and we would be like, Carisha, please, okay, we don't want to hear your shit, you and Saucy. But overall, take a listen because it was actually pretty good.
No, yeah, I have every intention of watching the whole thing. It's only 30 minutes, so I can do that.
Moving
Um,
on from
we'll move
Caresha.
on. Well, we're not gonna spend a lot of time about on this. This is Nelly got arrested. Nelly's damn near 50 years old, getting arrested, but he was arrested. He was stopped because he had some old traffic tickets or some old traffic light
How do
issue.
you not take of that? Oh my god.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know how it works in the states, but I hear a lot of these stories in the states where they can arrest you for like not dealing with
Yeah. Yeah.
um your um stuff, like your
Mhm.
warrant, your tickets and stuff. So he had a ticket for he got arrested for no proof of insurance in 2018, and this is why and he had an outstanding warrant from 20 December 2023. So he got stopped because of that, and they arrested him. But they're saying, which is not official, because I read two articles and they're saying even though they're talking about drug, I think his PR is cleaning this up
Yep.
because they're saying that they found 4 pills of ecstasy, but they're like all the officials are saying, oh, he was not arrested for drug possession. He's not arrested for drug possession. So, but
But in his possession he had drugs. Okay.
pretty much there. That's what they're trying to clean this up. So not going to spend that much time, but he's expecting shortly. He's expecting a child with Ashanti shortly. This is not a good look.
No, and this
Um,
is not his first time either. So he must be paying a pretty penny for his PR
mm,
because they know how to clean up his nonsense. This is not the first time. Go back in history, people. Okay, the society we live in today is so microwavable, we forget about the past in the next 15 seconds. Like,
mm-hmm,
honestly, because this is not his first rodeo. This is literally not the first time he was stopped with drugs in his possession on a tour bus. Uh, how are you worth so much damn money and you don't take care of your damn license?
mm-hmm,
I don't understand it. Like, I understand it's not something the artist cares to do, but that's why you
mm,
have handlers. That's why you have people to handle your business. So for you to tell me that you have, ecstasy in your possession in a car, you're driving around with drugs, that's a felony, okay? You don't take care of your license? So you're
mm.
willing to risk it all and not just take care of your license? Come on, Nelly. Come on, Nelly. And this is making Ashanti look like shit. Sorry. It is. She's
Yeah,
up here pregnant with your baby about to pop any day now, and you're being arrested with drug possession? Like
and of all drugs, it's one thing if it was marijuana, but ecstasy, like you're 50 years old, you're taking ecstasy.
this is the
That's
type
not
of
good for
drugs that
your
he
heart.
likes. These are the type of drugs that he likes.
I'm saying that's not a young man. Ecstasy gets your heart going. I'm just
No.
saying, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea, my dude.
And if you look at the
Anyway,
picture, and if you look at the picture of
yeah, he
if you
doesn't.
look
Yeah,
at
he
the picture
looks
of
high as a
Nelly,
kite.
he looked like he was out of this world. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
he
he
looked high as
really
a kite.
did. But you know what? I'm not even talking about Nelly. Ashanti girl, Ashanti, don't let this man put you into labor early. You hear? Like,
Don't stress, girl. He'll
don't
be all
stress
right.
about this man and his nonsense. Okay, he 50, big old 50-ass-year-old man. He should have had his license sorted out. I don't
Okay.
understand. If you're gonna ride dirty, have your license sorted out. I'm just
Yeah, but
saying.
basic.
Mm-mm.
So, another druggie. No, I shouldn't say that.
Bye.
Supposedly allegedly, um, Michael Jordan's son Marcus Jordan was spotted snorting cocaine in France, like
Like,
just out in public in the daytime. And
by
I
the
don't know
pool.
that maybe this is something people do, but the internet has been lighting his ass up. At least for black people. I don't know. Like this is even though we know celebrities and people in Hollywood, we know it's a common it's almost it's pretty much almost as common as marijuana. It's a very common Hollywood thing, right?
Yeah,
But to be outside on a patio in the middle of the day, just a sniff, 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 that is unusual.
by the pool, as though it's like Oh my god. Marcus, listen, let me ask something. Because honestly, I'm starting to think you have a personal vendetta against your father. Like, really and truly. What is the problem? What is the problem? Because we went from hearing very little about Marcus to
Yeah, no,
now
right?
you,
It's
you,
like he
you're by
wants the
poolside
attention.
sniffing coke. Like, I just, what is it that you have against your dad? Did you and your dad have like a spaz out or something? Like, what happened? Because first you're going after his arch nemesis's son, or sorry, wife, ex-wife. You're
Mm-hmm.
sleeping with his, like, really, his enemy's wife, ex-wife. Like, really, now we're by the poolside sniffing coke. You're just destroying Michael Jordan's legacy. Like, really. So what happened? What happened, Marcus? Because, like,
Yeah,
for real, I
it's
have to
almost like
wonder
a
here.
scream for if you really, you're right. Now that you actually lay it out like that, it's almost like a scream for help
Yeah, like he's
or
mad at his
attention.
dad. Like he's mad at him for something. I don't know. Maybe he asked him, "Yo, I need a couple million to start a business," and he said, no, I got mine from the ground up." You know, I don't know what is it, because it's like we're seeing his name more and more and more, and it's like not in a good way at all. You know, and Michael Jordan, he built a legacy, and you are just here destroying it. You know, it's so sad to see. And my next question is, did Larsa get you on the white stuff? Is
You
that
know
what
what?
happened?
I'm gonna say something controversial here. I'm gonna say no. Is Larsa biracial? What is Larsa? Is she white?
Isn't she Spanish?
Oh, yes, yes, Hispanic. Yeah. His it looks like Michael Jordan's new girlfriend is of the Euro flavor,
Right?
and because she's in this photo as well. Um, I don't know if that's it, but it's certain. It's just saying it's who you hang out with, and you just need to know who is he hanging out with, and that will let us know everything we need to know. Or you, like, to your point, he's just like screaming for attention for some reason.
There's
Don't know what's
something
going on with him.
on.
Something's there, but we'll see. It's This is
There
bound to
really
just
is
blow out of
something
hand.
going on there. Only because, like, how do you go from never hearing about this man to you have pictures sniffing
Yeah,
coke?
I didn't even
Like,
know what he looked. I don't even really know what he looks like, to be
growing
honest.
up all
If you
these
don't,
years, I never
if you don't
knew.
tell me that, if you don't tell me that's Marcus Jordan, then I won't know it's Marcus Jordan. Let's put it that way. I could walk past Marcus Jordan right now and not know it's
Right?
Marcus. It's Michael Jordan's son. Listen,
And that's a whole other thing, is that he don't look like Jordan.
no, not really. No.
Not really. I don't see it. I see a little bit, like if I squint and tilt my head to the side.
Do the squint and tilt.
Right, but for the most part,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
really see
see
it.
the family resemblance. You know, I'm not saying that that's not his son. I'm just
Mm.
saying I don't see the family resemblance. So if I didn't know that, if nobody told us that you were Michael Jordan's son, I would have never thought, even though your last name is Jordan, that you were his son. I would have never thought that. And now I can't stop hearing about you being Michael Jordan's son. Like, and it's not in a good way. But him and Larsa, what is that, what her name is? Yeah.
Mm.
Larsa, they broke up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're sniffing the coke because you broke up with the old lady or not. I don't know. I don't know.
I doubt it, but let's see. Okay, yeah, so that's him. Okay, this is a story we really wanted to talk about. Um
Yes.
and we could probably end it here. Kehlani, R&B singer Kehlani, the her baby father got social media buzzing and
Right?
chittering and chattering
Right?
because he came out that saying that he thinks he pretty much said that Kalani's involved in a cult, and that he's concerned about the well-being of his daughter, um because of the church that Kalani is a part of. And these are all good things to do, you know, in terms of protecting your child. That's not There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
he's interested. He's
And
interested and he's taking an active role to protect his child. I mean, that's a good thing.
so there's been a lot of backlash since he's done it, but I want to just focus on kind of what he said with his um basically he filed this with one lawyer, and then there and I don't think this was supposed to go public, but it's gone public. But if you go on his Twitter, he's actually addressed it. It's on his Twitter, so I don't understand why he's backpedaling and pussy popping, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
But what's a quote here? Before filing the information regarding priest Neto and his church, I am now aware that these parties were attempting to use these allegations and vocabulary to escalate their own disputes within the church. As of today, those parties no longer align with their allegations. I am aware of this. Yeah, so I don't know. This article that I'm reading looks like he's um backpedaling, but I want to focus on what he actually said. Okay, I found
Can
it
I?
here.
Sorry to interject, but I just want to
Yeah,
make a correction to Larsa, where her people
yeah,
are from,
yeah,
because I don't want people out here, to think that we're trying to give off the wrong information. So
yeah.
her parents are actually her father's from Syria, and her
Oh,
mother is from Lebanon.
okay. So Middle
Yeah, she's
Eastern,
Middle Eastern. So I
Arabic.
just want to put that
Okay,
out there. I'm not
now we
trying to mix
know.
up and blend.
No,
So,
no, no.
right, that's
Yes,
not
that's very
fair.
distinctly different culture than what we're.
Very different culture. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have that out the way, this guy
Okay,
here.
so
Mm-hmm.
And her so Kehlani, R&B singer. She's been out there. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
fan of. I'm a fan of some of her music. Um, Her baby father, Javon Young White, is has filed for full custody of their 5-year-old daughter. And in the documents, he says that he accuses Kehlani of being in a cult,
Mm-hmm.
and he talks about when a day. This is a quote about when she was born, because I do remember that it's so crazy. I don't follow her, but I feel like I've seen some type of photo with her in all white and around some people where I'm like, oh, what is like
Mm-hmm.
some stuff. So he said Adea was born through a home birth orchestrated by what I would describe as a cult that she belongs in. Due to the fact that Adea is her daughter's name,
Mm-hmm.
due to the fact that Adea was born in a home and not in a conventional setting like a hospital, my name is not on her birth certificate.
Hmm.
He also alleges that the group, the so quote unquote cult, controls Kehlani's actions and their behavior, including when it comes to the upbringing of their daughter.
Hmm.
And they pretty much he says that the cult has turned Kehlani against Javon, which is the father of her child. And he said that the cult leader has numerous accusations of committing sexual assault against women and young girls. He claims in the past, when Kehlani was on tour, he'd get to spend time with his daughter, and now he alleges the singer will leave their daughter with random strangers who are also members of the cult, including the leader.
Hmm.
He says that she leaves the daughter with other people, and the daughter is allowed to sleep in the bed with them and is
No,
given a
thank you.
bath by random strangers in
No,
the
thank
cult.
you.
Yeah, he also alleges that Kalani lets a member of the cult they call Messiah, an adult woman, take baths
What?
with Adea while the woman is under the influence of psychedelic drugs. And
What?
oh, and I hope this is some serious shit. And
What the
so anyway,
hell is going on?
he's pretty much asking the court. First of all, he's asking for custody, right? But I think he should do this in stages. I think he whoever did this court document, they just threw everything on here, and maybe that's why he changed representation. But
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you should do is focus on the safety of the child.
That's right. That's
Get
what the court's
custody.
gonna do.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
get custody. And maybe what he's saying is he can't get custody because the woman did not put sorry, the woman Kehlani, they did not put his name on the girl's birth certificate. First things first, do what you need to do to get your name on the birth certificate.
Yeah,
Like, you know
he
what
can
I mean? I
apply
feel
for a
like
birth certificate.
he dropped a bomb. Like, I do, for the safety of his child, I don't mind that he went public with this, because this is serious stuff,
You got to
right?
bring
So
attention.
you have to
Yeah.
bring attention, and so a lot of people are going to be scrutinizing whatever they got going on over there. That's, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So I won't go too much more into this, but the thing that I did find out since reading this is that he's also requested child support. That's where I went, irks.
Right.
Don't get
Right.
me wrong, if what he's saying is true, he should be able to be involved more in his child's life so he knows what's going on. I'm not saying, I don't think necessarily he should have full custody, but he should be getting some type of custody access. He should have access to his child, if if he wants to, and if he did before, why would that change? Like, he hasn't
Right.
done anything, so and it this is does very much sound, I'm not going to say she's in a cult, but this sounds very much cultish.
Yeah.
Let me just put, this sounds very cultish to me,
Yup.
based on what I've just read.
Yup.
Where they infiltrate your family life, they separate you from your family, all this stuff sounds like, you know what I mean, all the, and it's funny because when she had this little girl, I remember when she had the baby,
Hmm.
and I always remember when she had the baby, because not too long after that, she was saying she's bisexual or queer or whatever. I'm like, girl, weren't you
Hmm.
just with this guy and that, like, what, and weren't you were dating
Right.
YG? So I'm like, okay, you could be bisexual, but she's like, oh no, I'm this. I'm like, I don't know. And he also said on Twitter, some of the tweets is like, oh, she leans into this LGBTQ thing for as a brand to help her career and blah blah blah. That's hearsay. That's what he has to say.
Yeah.
But there's,
Not
you know,
surprising if she did, though.
but it wouldn't be based on what I've seen, because how can you be all of this? Like, we've seen you with like multiple men in the industry. She was with Party Next Door. She was with YG. She was with
Right.
this guy and
Hmm.
had a baby. So, but she made it seem like, oh, she just, her and this guy were friends, and she wanted a baby, and they agreed to have a baby, and that he's, I think she said that he's bisexual or something, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
like, but he's like, no, we were in a relationship. We had this baby. Like, what the heck are you talking about?
Right.
There's a lot going on with this.
Hmm.
Oh, she responded. I need to see this because these are serious allegations.
Well,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Well, while you're looking at the update,
Mm,
so I looked more into Kalani.
yeah.
I've heard a few of her songs. I've listened to a
Mm,
few of her songs. There's one or two I might bop to,
yeah.
but overall, I didn't really know too much about her, and so
Mm,
I had to do a little bit of digging into her life and with this guy that she's with, and it seemed like they were in a relationship. It
mm,
seemed like maybe
yeah.
her idea of what a relationship is and his idea and the world's idea are very different, I guess. Um Now when it comes to him trying to protect his child, kudos to you.
Yes.
Kudos to you. I'm going to take a moment because we, as a
We had an
society, we're
episode
always
not too
bashing
long
men.
ago.
I'm going to
Yeah.
take a moment and say thank you. Thank you for caring for your child for
Mm,
whatever the reason. Even if it's money that's driving you, you're
mm,
doing something. You know
mm,
what I'm saying? You're not just staying quiet. You're actually bringing attention and awareness, which, while you're not with your child full time, is protecting your child because they're going to think twice. They're going to think twice because they know now that the child is not just left to a woman that can be manipulated,
mm,
but that the child's father is not manipulated and is here to advocate for their child.
mm,
So that could actually be a protection for that child because anything that goes wrong with that child, right? There's already fingers that are being pointed.
mm,
So it's a good thing that you did that. More men should step up for their children. Yeah, I know that sometimes men don't want to get involved with the legal process and maybe you don't have the money, but it's your child we're talking about here. If there's ever a time for you to have a backbone, it would be now for your kid.
mm. Yeah.
So it's nice that he's doing that. And I want to address that because I don't think men who actually check for their kids get enough praise.
Yeah.
So, you're right. So now, with that said, if you're out here for the money, and you're trying to use your child so you can get paid.
Mm,
I'm gonna say something that's a little controversial here. Go ahead then. Go ahead.
mm,
We do it all the time as women. So don't I'm not trying to condone using the child. That's not what I'm
mm,
saying. But women do it all the time. So if he actually cares for his child and he really wants to be in her life, that's so great that you're doing this for her and you're taking
mm.
a stand. And
Yeah.
if you're trying to use this girl for money, well, do what you do.
Yeah, because the thing he's asking for the money, yeah, the only way he would get the money is if he had full custody. So he's asking
Exactly.
for full custody, and
Exactly.
then he would need, she makes more, she is much more wealthier than him.
Yes, and
So
depending the state
based on
in the
how the courts
US,
work,
he's entitled to,
he would be entitled to it. So I
yeah.
don't really have much to say about that. And yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, so her statement, so what she came back with, very much like we talked about before, legal speak. I strongly, well, but she needed to say this. I
right.
strongly deny any claims that I have put my child in harm's way or left my child alone with anyone deemed dangerous or unsafe. I also do not align with any of the allegations made against my former religious community, former keyword, that have been stated in the media.
Mhm.
I've always taken great care to ensure my child remains protected and safe at all times. My child and my commitment to motherhood have always been my sole driving forces. Okay, yada yada yada. This is what I'm focused on. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all she could really say right now.
Well, I mean, you say anymore, you can incriminate yourself. So I
Yeah,
think,
but the main thing is she's not saying that she didn't say she's not doing that. She's saying nobody I don't deem safe. If you consider the people in this whatever it is safe, you're not gonna, you know what I mean?
yeah,
If you read around the words, it's not denying anything that he said.
no. And
But
using
she's
words like former,
yeah, well
it's a double-edged sword using that word former.
former, yeah, to me, yeah, and I would take that. Okay, I'm assuming. Are you not? Because these court documents are old. So are you
Right.
no longer a part of these people? Like, and if you're not, why don't you say that? Like, just like, you know what I mean?
And
Um,
because you're not refuting the allegations,
yeah, not yeah.
right? And then
She's
you're saying
refuting them.
former.
She's refuting them, but in a very broad, like she's not really in a broad way. She's not really addressing. Yeah, you is very specific. The things I read to you were very specific, and she does not address the specific things
No.
that
And you
are
use things
concerning.
like former, meaning,
Mm,
did you find out that they were doing this to your kid and that's why you're former?
mm,
Right? Like I'm just, you gotta, like, words mean something. They
mm.
mean something. So, if you're gonna come out and say you don't have nothing to do with this, then that's exactly what you have to say. Like beating around the bush and leaving people's minds open to assume, right?
Mhm.
They can assume the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? If you don't specifically come out and say, but I mean, the fact, it's a good thing that she has responded. It's a
Yes.
good thing that she has
Those are serious
responded.
allegations. Yeah, she
Yeah,
better.
you have to respond. You can't leave that without saying something. Like,
Mm,
she had to respond, right? But it is good that she did respond, and from what it sounds like, that she is interested in protecting her kid,
mhm.
um and is not more interested in a career. So, because that
Yeah.
happens,
Yeah, that happens.
unfortunately.
That's what he was pretty much accusing her of.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Well,
we'll
we'll
see.
see what I will be paying attention to that, but I don't know why like, I mean, other than your child, right? He seems like he's kind of bitter towards her for some reason. And it
Yeah.
may be because she's trying to pretend she's something that she's not,
Yes. Yes.
you
Yes.
know?
I think when
Um
I he obviously that's not in any of the official documents, but when people obviously the surface the old tweets, and that's the feeling I get
yeah,
that
that's the feeling I got too. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, justfully so. You
Mhm.
know, people can feel how they want to feel.
Yeah.
Whether, it's right, wrong, or in between, they have the right to feel that way. And so, you know what? We're gonna pay attention to that because I'm really interested to see what ends up happening to the child. You
Yeah, she
know,
and yeah, the child at the end they want her to be safe and in a safe environment. And Kalani's going to be under a lot of scrutiny right now. The people around her who on her, we're going to be like, who's that? Is that the random people she's hanging around with? So yeah, we'll see.
we will see. But I guess we'll end the
Mhm.
show then.
Yeah.
And we will say that we hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. So whether you leave with your heart or your mind, please stay passionate and thoughtful. And we'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.